this week on Socratic Cinema.
I just couldn't get over Woody Harrelson as Cletus. I really couldn't because
Yeah.
I said it last week that I was like, mm, uh,
You didn't tell them I was abused. It's like,
Yeah, that was a really weird
was
part of
so
the movie.
I was
That
like,
was-
what? Like, there's no need to worry about
Sound
that.
kills symbiote, symbiote makes sound. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems, to the second episode of Season 5 of the Socratic Cinema podcast. We are very excited today to be talking to you guys about a good movie, a bad movie, a movie maybe, we don't even know. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Guys, what were people's opinions on this? Because I, don't let anyone know, watched a pirated version, so I'm not like technically, I didn't have the theater experience, but
He
I'm
doesn't
hoping you
mean
guys
that.
did.
He means alternatively sourced.
Yes.
We don't like to use
Yes.
the P word.
Mhm.
Also,
Yarn.
just because you totally forgot, my name is James DeLisio.
Oh,
and I'm Kasey Clark.
you don't need to know my name.
Yeah, he goes without saying.
Yeah, but
He who
so
remains.
ooh, yeah, give me a cool title. Ooh, wait, can I have one that's like Venom or Carnage? Can I be like power, electricity, shocking
Power.
noun?
Yeah, what was the guy
There
from
will
the
be tumult.
I like tumult,
Tumult.
discord.
Discord.
No, that one's taken. That one's taken. We can't do that.
Oh yeah.
By both a multimedia communication software and
James, I think you
You
just
could
died.
Yeah, you said
oh no, that's okay. We'll work around those.
Oh
Uh,
gosh. But okay, so before we get too far into the banter, I want to make sure that we center our conversation around the very intellectual film that is Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. James, what were your impressions of the film?
So I've prepared this. Hold on, but first I just want to give a disclaimer and say that I apologize if my voice sounds weird at all. I have a case of the sniffles, a bit of a snarf, if you will, a little tickle in the throat. It's not COVID, confirmed. But you know, if I sound like a dead man walking, that's why. So I apologize. I realize in an audio only format that's kind of like a, a big deal, but you know, whatever. We'll work around it. But my initial thoughts have been brought to you in uh, haiku. I cannot decide if Venom 2 sucked or not. Worse than the first one.
Wow.
That's my
Bravo.
Snaps.
Snaps.
Can we give him some?
Yes. I don't know
Thank
how
you.
well those are going to pick up. I think Riley might get mad at us.
I know, I'm so sorry, Riley.
But
Oh wow.
James,
Yeah,
what's
that's it.
the,
I'm not
what's
going to
the meaning
elaborate.
behind? Oh, okay. That's it. All right.
I mean,
never mind.
it's pretty much exactly what I said. I can't decide if the movie sucked or not. I can't decide if it's a good movie with a lot of parts that I thought were really bad, or a bad movie with some parts that I thought were really good.
Mm.
But what I do know is that I think it was worse than the first one, which is sad because this movie had like Carnage, and the first movie had Riot, I think was his name. It's like
Start a riot.
Maybe. Yeah,
like-
I think so.
it's like who cares,
Yeah.
right? So I'm a little bit sad that the first one was better, but you know, this movie had its ups and downs. It had its moments. It had a lot of really questionable moments. But what Kasey, what did you think?
Uh, I, like you, James, don't know how to feel about this movie. Like, I am thankful for so many things about this movie. I'm thankful that at some parts it was so bad that it was possibly good. I'm thankful that the runtime was an hour and maybe 30 minutes. I am thankful. Yeah. It was, I feel like there was some interesting parts to it, but it was odd. Like it wasn't
Mhm.
like I really couldn't like decide if I was enjoying myself or not, which is
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
kind of weird when you're watching a movie because you're supposed to like know immediately, like, okay, this is enjoyable, or I would like to turn this off. And at times, it was a little bit of both. I feel like there was some interesting aspects. I really liked the like Inspector Venom Eddie that was going on, but we didn't get a lot of that. So that was kind of short lived. And I just couldn't get over Woody Harrelson as Cletus. I
Yeah.
really couldn't because
Yeah.
I said it last week that I was like, "Mm, uh," and having watched the movie, I'm still like, uh. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. Definitely not an 8.5 out of 10.
No,
Ooh.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, see, but I don't know. I feel like it's a range. If it is a bad movie, it's like a 6, but if it's a good movie, it's closer to a 7. I don't know yet.
It's a mystery box of a movie. J.J. Abrams loved it. He thought it was great.
Oh
He
Uh,
God.
did he did?
well, no,
Legitimately.
no, because it's a mystery box, James. You don't know what's inside. This is my running gag of like just
Oh,
Oh,
I
crapping on
see.
oh,
I
whatever J.J.
see.
oh,
Abrams says.
oh.
Okay. I'm gonna do something that I've never done before and be the people's champion. Typically, I'm a voice of discord, of disorder, but today I've come to represent the people who loved this movie, who thought it was great, and who specifically thought it was the best rom-com that they have seen in the past 5 years. All of the
True.
takes that I'm giving today are not
Actual.
necessarily my own because I pretty much agree with James and Kasey. They're from my friend Ev, who is a massive Venom fan and threatened me when I said that I would be on this podcast and say negative things about Venom. She made like physical violence
Yeah.
threats
Charlie is
towards me.
currently at gunpoint right
Yeah,
now.
no, there is a gun to my head. I have to be
He's
very
at
careful with what I say. So for the sake of fun and for the sake of being a little different, I'm going to talk today about how awesome Venom was and why you guys should absolutely love the hell out of it. But yeah, basically thesis statement right here, best rom-com in the last 5 years. Checkmate.
I agree. I think it would
Fair.
behoove us to start with the positives. Positive number 1, in my opinion, is that seeing Venom and Carnage duke it out, CGI, symbiote, goopy, sloppy goodness was really cool. That was like, it was just awesome. I really loved Carnage's design. I love Venom's design. I thought there was great like visual contrast between them because that was kind of a problem in the first movie where it's like these two symbiotes look the same, but I think visually Venom and Carnage were great. I thought their fights were really cool and fun, and I love the messy, more like kind of. It was pretty dark. It was pretty violent. Like, was it
Much
PG
like
13 or R?
yeah. No, it
PG
was
13.
it was PG-13 and it was messy like real love really is. I felt
It
like there was a
was.
lot of you know, very interesting visual metaphors for how relationships maybe sometimes don't always match perfectly together. And how these symbiotes are very slimy and gooey and malleable in the same way that our human hearts are, you know?
Mm, yeah, speak, speak it. And
Speak
but the
on
I
it.
was gonna say the other part of this movie that I think really shone was Tom Hardy's performance. I thought he killed it in the first one, and I thought he killed it in this one. I think he does a really good job at playing like a very like regular person in these weird like crazy superhero movies. Because in other movies they're all very like clean cut, washboard abs, like never breaks a sweat. And then here Tom Hardy's just like you know, gross, like very confused all the time, very reluctant. Um, looks like he needs a shower and hasn't slept in 3 days. Like it's very good. Um,
Mhm.
and I just love the way that I love his relationship with Venom, and I love his relationship with Anne, and also the relationship with Anne's husband. It's all very like it's all very messy and it's all very realistic, and I really like it. So I think the core relationships were really good, and I think the visual spectacle of seeing two symbiotes fight were really good. I think that was like those were the big takeaways for Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Wow. Very well put.
Very well put.
I would definitely say I am a little sad that there was no equivalent of the lobster tank scene in this
Oh
movie.
my god.
Yeah, like where is that shot that we get of Tom Hardy doing something completely unscripted that makes the entire cast like just shudder in terror at his acting prowess?
Yeah, I like I was it wasn't quite as like whole hog as the first one, but I think that's also partly because of the runtime,
Yeah.
which this is one of those few cases where I think if it was a bit longer, it probably would have helped because I think as a result of the super fast runtime, they had to make a lot of really dumb writing choices.
Yes.
Just a
Entirely agree.
lot of stupid stuff happens where it's like, we need a way to get to this point in the story. Well, let's just do it. Let's just all right, like
Full send.
let's just take the most direct path. Like I think the biggest example of this is Eddie and Venom are like broken up and we need to get Venom to go back in with Eddie. Which is a great sequel like plot setup by the way. I think it's very smart that they sort of played it off as like a rom-com. And then it's like, "Oh, Venom doesn't want to go back to Eddie. Oh, Anne has to like flatter Venom randomly for 20 seconds and then he's like, "Okay, let's go." It's like, What? That's the choice you went with. Like that's it?
Right.
It's like it's just
Mhm.
lazy writing. It's like stuff happened because it had to. Um
Yes, I feel like a lot of stuff wasn't as fleshed out as it needed to be,
mm-mm.
which definitely was affected by the runtime. And I feel like that's specifically like looking at Cletus as a character in general, like he just was not like they didn't commit either way. Like they should have either made him completely like off the walls, bonkers, crazy, like just like, I'm just going to eat people because I can and murder all these people because I can. But they tried to make him so like sentimental
And like
in a
sympathetic.
way and
Yeah.
sympathetic. I'm like, no, where's the where's the carnage? This is
Yeah. It's
this
just and a lot of really like I feel like Cletus Cassidy is one of the biggest misses of the Marvel scene. Like that's such a cool, scary character. Like serial killer gets a symbiote. What? That's so like
right.
that's amazing. But what we got in the movie was just really weird, man. It's
And the
like,
character design too. Oh God, don't
oh
get me
yeah,
started.
I just didn't like Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. I just wasn't a fan.
Yeah,
I
Woody Harrelson really lost his edge after he stopped smoking pot. I feel like
a
he's
lot of
very bland now.
I thought you were gonna say he was smoking something else,
a
and I
lot
was
No,
going to
no,
be
if he was
very.
smoking something else, it would have been a better performance. Like the I love Woody Harrelson and I think he's awesome, but they keep putting him in these movies that are just not really that great. And he keeps turning in like very so-so performances. And I think that if you got somebody who could sort of embody Joaquin Phoenix's performance from The Joker, just go
yes.
like weird and crazy with it, that would have made
Yeah,
for a much more entertaining villain because you need to match the chaos of Eddie and Venom as a power couple because they are a power couple, right? You
Yeah,
need
that
to
was the
match
point of the
that
movie.
yeah.
with something like really wild on the other side. And I did not get that from Cletus Cassidy and Shriek is the name of the villain.
Okay,
Shriek.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was another
Shriek.
miss. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
That was so
it was
huge
sad.
just
miss.
so yeah,
It's like, why
yeah.
are you here though? Like, what? Do you,
Right. I would have rather it have just been uh like Carnage versus Venom thing the entire movie. Like we didn't need like the whole Shriek subplot where it's like it
yeah,
doesn't.
this is just not necessary. And
It wasn't necessary.
it's sad because it led to a really cool final fight setting of like the wedding, big like Tokyo Ghoul vibes, the
Yes.
gourmet arc, big vibes from that. But it was like what big, actually I'll say it, big face off vibes. But it was like
Yes, which made it phenomenal and I loved it because of that reason.
it was such a cool set piece and such a cool setup. And I get that they couldn't like it wouldn't have made that much sense without the shriek thing, but they just like didn't develop it enough to really have Shriek add anything meaningful to the movie. Shriek really didn't change that much. Like I'm pretty sure you could delete Shriek from the movie and the plot would have been roughly the same. Right? I think
Yep.
it would take
Yes.
minimal rewrites to make this movie make sense without Shriek.
Yes.
I'm also curious why they went for Shriek as opposed to, get this, Scream, another Marvel villain who is a symbiote, like a girl symbiote whose name is a
Mm.
synonym away and could have served exactly the same purpose. I'm dropping a picture of Scream in the chat. If you're listening, Google this. Pretty nifty design. Um, but it's just like why did Shriek
I
have
would
to
have
be
loved to
here?
see that.
I also would have loved to see that.
I also would have loved to see that. um,
Shriek is my new celebrity crush, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
I guess the closest thing we got is like, of course, they had another scene where Anne gets to like put on the Venom suit. I feel like that's just becoming a thing with the Venom movies now. Is that like our
Mhm.
running gag? Um,
Yeah,
Fem Venom.
yeah, hot Venom is really weird. Like as a
I don't want to talk about it. I
yeah,
feel like this is a spiral.
no,
it,
it will
it is.
quickly spiral if we stay on it, but I don't get why they keep doing it other than like it's just immensely like in the favor of fan service. But
Very.
It was like,
oh, I
yeah.
I want to say something in defense of the way that this movie turned out with the villains. So, I think, and this is me, audience incarnate Charlie Heatherly speaking. I think that the real reason why the villains were so bad in this movie is because the writers just wanted to do a sitcom, essentially. Like they wanted to have an Eddie Venom sitcom, and that's all they wanted. And they focused all of their heart and soul on those parts, which is what we got. And then on every other part of the movie that was not that, basically the action half of the action comedy, it was just very lacking because that's what the writers didn't care about and what they had to put in for it to like make money.
Mm.
So you really, I think, get a very conflicted creative product when you do something like that, when you sort of pit the writers against the studio. And that's what happened. And I don't think the movie is good because of it. But I think if you sort of look past the disconjointed nature of it, then you can hopefully see the positives inside the parts of the movie that the writers actually wanted you to care about, which were the relationship parts. And we all had positive takes on that, I feel like.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
That part worked. And but I will say, like some of the action was really good. Like pretty much every single scene where Carnage was doing symbiote stuff, I was like, woohoo! Like this is great. This is so cool. Like the whole prison like break scene where it's basically just like 10 minutes of it's like 12% of the movie is just Carnage like destroying this prison. That was awesome. That was really cool. I just wish I cared about
Mhm.
it. You know, it's like I just wish I cared.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, no, and then this is regular Charlie talking. I thought the action was horrible and very bad, but,
I will say
you do you.
it was really stupid when Carnage started spinning around really, really fast and making a
Oh, the
tornado.
Carnado.
No, that was great. I love the
I'm
Carnado.
no, I'm
Tornado.
so sorry, bro. I
The
saw
Carnado.
the Carnado started happening, and my sweet mate and I in the theater literally looked at each other. It's basically the face I made when I watched Cats. It's like
No.
the side eye and disbelief.
No.
Um, oh my gosh, yeah, that was weird. And also, just pretty much every time Shriek opened her mouth to deliver a line was similar. I really think they just gave so many bad lines out. Like if you were trying to spin Carnage as sympathetic, like do it with some nuance instead of him just being like, "You didn't tell them I was abused." It's like
Yeah, that was a really
That
weird
was
part of the
so
movie.
weird.
I was
That
like,
was
What?" Like, there's no more nuanced way you could have brought this incredibly dramatic subject up. Instead, you're just like, "Rah," you know? So what's happening?
well,
I
because like, that's
killed
also
my
a
grandma because I was abused.
yeah, exactly. Like, and this is a very like political issue nowadays. The whole oh guys, no, look, it's a white serial killer. We should look at his fun, traumatized backstory and understand why he did these things. Like, that's a hot button issue. And Venom was
Yeah,
like, we're just gonna steamroll over all of the
right.
discourse
It was like,
related to that.
maybe we shouldn't try and paint Cletus Cassidy, cannibal serial killer, as sympathetic.
Literally.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. I think it would have been much better if they were just like, here's Carnage. This guy's insane. This guy's crazy. He's nuts. He's like the MCU version of the Joker. He's just crazy. Like, and I mean, Joker has somewhat of like a not sympathetic, depends on who you ask, but like, you know, an interesting backstory. But it's still fully clear that like this guy's off his rockers and he's just insane. Like Carnage, I think could have been that, but instead they had him be like a half baked crazy for most of the movie, and then in the last 5 minutes they were like, Eddie, I only ever wanted to be your friend. I'm so lonely. Where, shut up. Like, please, gosh. Like, oh my gosh.
God.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, it was aggressively annoying, and I don't know why they kept being like, "Oh yeah, we need to make Eddie and like Carnage best friends, and we need to make sure that they're so happy." Like, no, shut up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Kill him. Kill him.
kill him, murder
Just
him,
kill
Um,
him.
fire and sound.
I love I love that they're like leaning into the lethal protector like name for Venom because
That's cool.
I think it's so cool. It's like that's his icon, it's like
Yes,
Amazing
it's comic.
Spider-Man, Thor, Mighty Thor, whatever. It's like Venom lethal protector. It's like, yeah. I'm glad you're leaning into that. Um uh Temporal pincer movement spoiler warning. Do you guys want to talk about the post-credit scene?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course I want to talk
Let's
about
get
the
into
post-credit
it.
scene.
Let's get into it. Part 1. I'm confused. Um, I just it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure it'll be explained later, but right now I'm just like I'm happy we're here. I am not even gonna try and think about how we got here. Because they really didn't like explain any hows. They were just like, hey, we're here in the MCU now. Um,
So, for both
Yeah.
me and the viewers at home, because I again watched an alternative cut of Venom that did not include the after credit scene. What happened in this after credit scene?
you want the play-by-play?
Yeah, I
All
want the
right.
play by play.
Here's like if you turned on descriptive audio, this is what you would hear. So it's Venom slash Eddie Brock watching TV in this on their. Do you remember how the movie ended? They're like on the beach.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
like
yeah.
ran away. That was a really interesting ending, by the way. But they're watching TV in this little like beach shack, talking about this rom com TV show that they're watching, and then Eddie's basically is like, "Oh, Venom, you're dumb," and then Venom's like, "Ah, my symbiote alien race has like a bajillion years of knowledge. Like you would probably blow up if you knew 1% of what the symbiotes knew." And Eddie was like, "Oh yeah, show me." And Venom was like, "Okay, I'll show you 1.0001% of what the symbiotes know." And then magic weird happened. Like, stuff started shaking and the lights started flickering. And then Venom was like, "I don't know what caused that. That wasn't me." And then they turn on the TV, and J. Jonah Jameson is on the TV, and they're like, "Spider-Man, Peter Parker is," the scene from the end of Far From Home.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
and Tom Holland's on the screen, and Venom's like, "That guy," and then it ends.
No, you include that he licked the
Oh,
screen,
he licked the screen and was
James.
like,
What?
he licked the screen and was
Yes,
like, "I hate
tongue
that
down.
guy." Yeah. And that was the end.
Damn.
There's no explanation as to what, you know, but I really am curious if Tom Hardy's gonna show up in No Way Home. Uh,
Oh
Bro,
my god.
imagine.
I think, listen, I'm a little scared for No Way Home. I think there's too much. I think
Oh
we're
I
my
think
getting,
it's too
god.
much happening.
No, stop it. We
but
saw
okay,
Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, and that included every character
Well,
ever, and it was
but
well,
phenomenal.
the
listen.
last time, yeah, go ahead, Casey.
Okay. I feel like it's going down, like with everything that's happening, and now with the Venom tie-in, it's getting oddly familiar to the other Spider-Man movies, like
Yes,
Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing
yes,
Spider-Man 2, where they start
exactly.
throwing in all these villains and all this stuff happening. And it just scares me a little bit because
Yes,
I have been
we've
traumatized.
seen this twice before, where as
Mhm.
soon as they put in a second villain, the movie becomes terrible. Uh,
Literally.
right? Like, yeah, Spider-Man 3 had what? Venom, Green Goblin Jr., and Sandman, and it was pretty
Mhm.
bad. Spider-Man 2 had Electro, Green Goblin, and Rhino. It was pretty bad. So
That
far,
ended The Amazing Spider-Verse.
that ended
It
the Amazing
ended
Spider-Verse.
it.
So far, what we have for No Way Home is Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, Electro, maybe Lizard? That might be Lizard? I don't
Or
know.
Venom. It's
Well,
going
there's
back and
6
forth
of
whether or
them. It's
not
the
it's
Sinister Six.
But we've only technically seen 3. people say maybe Sandman. The Lego sets for No Way Home have Mysterio and Vulture in them, and now Venom too. And it's like, slow down. You know, I'm just scared.
It's a Sinister Six. It's a Sinister Six storyline.
But I'm trying to think about what six it is. It's like
Probably the ones you mentioned.
Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro. I don't think Sandman's in it. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think he is because people are pointing to the shot where like lightning bolts hit the ground and sand plumes up, and they're like, "That's Sandman." I don't think that's Sandman. I think that's,
if anything, that's Electro.
well, yeah, I think that's what happens when something hits the ground really hard, like sand shoots up, right? I think it's not
Dust and debris.
There's the mystery one is that shot of like in the shadows and something like lunges at Peter Parker. It's like that could be Venom, that could be Lizard. I kind of think it's Lizard, but I don't know really. Who knows?
That's true. But we are only up to 4 then.
Yeah,
of the 6. So we're missing 2.
For missing
Mysterio
Venom
and Vulture.
Oh yeah. Did you guys see the it played before Venom for me, like in the theaters. Did you see the okay. Mobius, Morpheus. I get those 3 mixed up a lot.
It's Morbius. Morbius is the Jared Leto
trailer.
Vampire.
Yes.
I did not see that.
Did Kasey, have you seen the new Morbius trailer?
I haven't.
I'm not
really interested in it, to be honest.
Me neither. But it is in the same universe as Venom. But you're right. I'm confused as to what universe it's in now because you know who was in that trailer?
Whomst?
The Vulture.
Wait, like
Michael Keaton
was in the trailer?
Was in the trailer for Morbius.
What?
Bro.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it one single bit. Not one piece of this all makes sense to me. And at this point, I feel like Marvel should just say
timeline.
Marvel's just got to say at this point, like, whatever, they're all canon. Like, just
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. Like, I think that's the point of the.
But it's just really confusing right now.
This is very confusing.
Kevin Feige just needs to make a tweet and just say, LMAO, just say LMAO, they're all canon, and let it, let the pieces sort of fall into place.
I don't know. I think I understand it fairly well. It seems like the next Spider-Man movie will tell us which Spider-Man villains are canon or not.
I hope so, and I think that would be the smartest thing. But I mean, they're definitely doing like a multiverse approach, right? Where it's like, oh, they came from, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's universe, right? So it's not like this is all one universe.
Right.
Multiverses are confusing though. So I'm just I
feel
know
like
I'm not going to get it. No, I was just going to say, like, between this and the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, I know I'm not going to understand. Like, have you guys heard some of the rumors about what's going to be in the Doctor Strange movie?
The multiverse of madness?
Yeah, I'm not going to, like, I don't know how much we want to, like, get into rumors and leaks and stuff, but if everything that's been, like, because I just see it on my Instagram, like, explore page, like, new rumor, this has been reported to be in Multiverse of Madness. I'm like, huh? Maybe we could talk about that, like, later or do, like, an extra long spoiler warning because there's some, like...
Right, yeah. It gets crazy.
There's some curious stuff that might be in that movie. And I'm like, what? Like, are you sure?
It will all work out. The Marvel gods have our backs as long as we have faith in them.
Oh, God.
Let us all now pray and chant Kevin Feige's name.
I was about to say.
The golden path.
Feige. Yeah. Well,
that day we summoned Kevin Feige, destroyer of worlds.
Destroyer of worlds, melter of brains.
Yeah.
What was I was watching it's kind of like a tentative timeline movie, not movie, but video. So spoiler warning for the end of Loki.
No, I haven't seen the last episode.
Oh,
go ahead. I don't care. I here's what happened. I watched the first 5 episodes and I was like, this is really cool. And then I started episode 6. I got about half an hour in, realized they're still talking and there's still half of the episode left, and I turned it off and I never turned it back on.
Boo, screenager.
It literally, I'm sorry, bro. I'm
Boo.
sorry, bro. It was boring. It was just boring.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, essentially, for those of you, including James, that don't know, Loki and Sylvie, his variant, essentially like,
His wife.
no.
Now, if you
No.
watched the episode, James, you would know.
You would know.
Hmm?
We don't do
Oh, word?
self-cessed
Wait.
over here.
Okay, hold on. Here's my take on that. People who get mad about that, that's kind of silly. It's not real. That will never be a
About
thing in real.
self-cessed?
That will never be a thing in real life. Why are you worried about it? You know?
It's not worried about it. It's
speak
just
for
kind of
yourself.
weird, bro. It's like,
What-
damn, how narcissistic can you be? It's like, dang.
No, but I know
Look at
people were
me.
like, this is harmful, and like they should have like trigger warning, like they should have never. It was like this is
What?
it's not real.
How would that?
It's not real. This will never be real. You know. And continue.
This will never be real. Well, so essentially, they're talking to He Who Remains, which there's going back and forth about whether or not he's Kang the Conqueror,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So essentially, like they draw out the conversation that you clicked off to the point that He Who Remains is like, dang, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen. And so all the timeline, like the sacred timeline, gets absolutely jacked. And he's like, oh well, deuces, it's your problem now to kind of go
I remember
out
this part.
and fix the timeline. So essentially what the kind of consensus of the video that I was watching, which I cannot remember who did it for the life of me, but that the kind of aftermath of the Loki messing up of the sacred timeline resulted in the Venom multiverse versus the Venom multiverse being being the aftermath of the spell for from
It's like
No
it's
Way
like
Home.
this all started when the sacred timeline messed up, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I can understand that. I want to sort of like reel us back in a little bit towards Venom. Um, Mr. Cop Policeman.
Oh, Mulligan.
Yes. Do you guys know who that is?
It's Toxin.
It's Toxin.
What?
It's another symbiote. It's another one.
Yes.
God damn it. Why are there so many? Just have like 2 of them. I
Listen.
can't track them all.
So
There's
Toxin-
some cool ones in the comics, bro.
Yes. Toxin is the baby of Carnage versus Venom being the dad of Carnage. So like Carnage and Venom are dads. That let's pull up
The family tree.
a family tree, if you
Mhm.
will, for these few people. So essentially Venom, never mind. Let me rephrase that. Father Venom
Mm-hmm.
and it gave birth to Carnage, who then gave birth to Toxin. Toxin latches onto Peter Mulligan?
I don't know, Pat Mulligan, I think.
Yeah, something P. Mulligan, who's a cop, right? And he's like way more powerful than both Carnage and Venom. And in the like comics, essentially like Venom and Carnage have to team up to kind of take down Toxin because he just be killing folks despite being a cop. Well, not despite being
Whoa. Whoa.
but
Woohoo.
we are not a political podcast.
We definitely have.
But yeah, that's essentially so Mulligan being the cop in Venom, in the Let There Be Carnage movie. I think there's like a scene where like his eyes go white or
They go
something.
like, yeah, blue.
And then it's like, oh, there's a symbiote a cooking.
Yeah, just one running amok.
Oh, running amok. Yes.
Oh, okay, but at this rate, every single like citizen of San Francisco will have a symbiote,
Mhm.
and all of them will be named after some cool noun.
Look,
And-
you want to know? So you know where Riot came from? There's a story arc in the comics called like the Life Foundation or something, and they make this team of 5 symbiotes, and Riot was only one of them. So there's a lot more we could pull from, baby. We
Mhm.
got Scream, we got Agony, we got Lasher, we got Phage, we got
What?
uh uh
Lasher's cool, bro.
there's a symbiote dragon at one point in the comics.
Huh?
Yeah, bro. Look
Yeah.
at this
No,
thing.
no, but the Marvel universe is too confusing, right? We
Yeah, look at this.
this makes sense.
Look at that. Look at that. It's a dragon. It's an actual dragon.
Oh
That's kind
my!
of fire, though.
I know
It
what my Halloween costume is gonna be.
it it's wicked.
Builds symbiote dragon.
Oh, we could do an anti-Venom movie. We could do an anti-Venom storyline. Anti-Venom has a cool design.
Scream doesn't make sense to me because isn't the whole point that the symbiotes can't take sound and Scream's thing is sound?
Uh, um, um, yes.
Why you thinking so hard, bro?
Yeah.
I am thinking one connection.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about
Sound
that.
kills symbiote. Symbiote makes sound.
That's anti-Venom. Anti-Venom was like a cure for they tried to use the Venom symbiote to like cure cancer. But that like anti-cancer symbiote they made is anti-Venom.
Mm.
So anti-Venom has like healing powers and stuff. We could do Agent
Like
Venom.
said healer.
Yeah, healer. We could do an Agent Venom storyline. Agent Venom is when Venom combines with Eddie Brock. I mean, no, not Eddie Brock. Flash Thompson.
Bro, all the homies hate Flash Thompson.
Here's okay.
They do.
I hate this Flash Thompson. Like, I don't know. I on one hand, actually no, I don't hate this Flash Thompson. I like this Flash Thompson in the Tom Holland movies, but he'd be a not very good Agent Venom. You know,
Yes.
you know who would have been a great Agent Venom? The Flash
Punisher.
from the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Ah, okay. Eh.
That Flash was good. No, that Flash was good. I'm nah.
Yeah, I can see that. I
He
can
had a
see
good
him
arc.
being like an ROTC.
Yeah, he
Venom.
had a good arc. You remember when Peter Parker like after
Pathetic Venom.
no, you remember when like Flash in those movies was like bullying Peter, and then after Uncle Ben died, Flash was like, Peter, like I heard about your uncle. I'm sorry. Or you know, and Peter was like gonna beat up Flash. He was like, not today. And Flash was like,
Ayo, chill. I brought you
Peter,
flowers.
like I know what it's like. I know. I'm sorry, dude. That was a good arc.
No,
Flash was good in those movies.
Eh.
That was the best Flash we've ever seen. I'll say that.
So this is, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. What would be our fan cast for the Venom CU?
Oh shoot.
Oh.
For
Whoa.
Scream,
Who-
because I'm into Scream and I'm also into Anya Taylor-Joy.
I knew
Bam,
it.
together.
I
You just cast her as anything, bro.
I will watch her as anything. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, we got to see Last Night in Soho.
I'm sick. Guys, let's all go together. Let's congregate somewhere.
Yes, somewhere in like central California.
We're going
We're
to
in
Napa
Central.
Valley.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's my I don't know, because I feel like these symbiotes aren't characters. They're just like Venom with a different color and a different generic bad guy underneath, right? Like I don't care who Riot is. I just care that it's a big gray symbiote. You feel
no,
me?
Riot feels like a good Dave Batista.
True, actually. You know
right?
what?
I feel like they have vibes, you know?
Yeah, no,
Like-
this is vibe-based casting.
Okay, here's it. Ready? So Riot is Chris Pratt. Lasher is Seth Rogen. Phage is Jack
Stop.
Black. The
him
dragon is Key, the Key and Peele guy whose name I always forget.
Keegan
Keegan-
Michael P. Oh my god.
Keegan Michael P. Key. He has 4 names. That's what you said.
I messed up.
Keegan Michael P. Key.
She's spelling it out. Let her spell.
Agent Venom is gotta be the voice of Mario, Charles Martinet. That's probably my fan cast.
Oh, that hurt me physically to
Bro.
hear.
Truly, true pain.
No, it's the newest voice
Oh.
acting cast.
No, James, you're so wrong. Do you know who has to be Lasher? Who has the energy of like a paper cut? Timothy Chalamet.
Oh no, he's
Dude.
anti-venom.
Listen,
Like
here's
how-
the thing.
Oh,
How
yes.
sickly he looks. Here's the thing. Timothy Chalamet and Anya Taylor-Joy have just become the new like shoe-in casts. not sure who to cast, put one of them in.
Right.
And they'll
Very
figure-
much like Johnny
and they-
Depp and Helen Bonham Carter.
Yes. Did you
There's
know?
a
Always
new
deliver.
them.
Did you know Timothy Chalamet is playing Willy Wonka?
Yep. And it's
Why
the
would you
worst
tell me
casting
this?
I've ever heard, but
Why
it's,
would you tell me
fine.
this?
Okay.
Whatever.
However, I'm so excited for Dune. I'm so excited for
Okay.
Dune.
Yes. Very true.
Yes.
I'm doing flips thinking about Dune. It's gonna be so good. I just know it. Oh, do you guys want to know? As long as we're talking about like extended universe villains,
Mhm.
you want to know, Ned from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Where is this
Far
Oh
From
going?
yeah,
Home?
yeah.
My good friends at the Every Marvel Movie Ever podcast told me about this on the episode that hasn't come out yet, by the way.
Spoilers.
That's Hobgoblin in the comics.
What?
What?
Yep. I'm not
Ned
gonna
is Hop.
Who's Hobgoblin?
let me
You don't know who
tell
Hobgoblin is?
you.
No,
Hobgoblin's
Casey,
like,
I don't know Hobgoblin.
oh my gosh. I'm
No,
sorry that
Kate.
James and I are educated.
I know, it's probably you're literally
He's
dumb.
like a Halloween Green Goblin. But he throws pumpkins.
Well, Green Goblin throws pumpkins too, though. That's like not
Right,
that's
but-
not unique.
I'm
So what-
trying, James.
So what's the difference between this guy and Green Goblin then? If they're
I
basically
think the thing is like this guy went into like he found the old Green Goblin hideout and was like he found the gear and put it on and was like Green Goblin 2. There's a lot of did Carnage and Green Goblin fused once? That was a thing.
There's so many
Oh
symbiote
yeah.
combos, bro.
It says that Ned Leeds wore the Hobgoblin's uniform while brainwashed and used the glider too.
Yeah, bro.
Huh.
Look at this. The Red Goblin. This is Carnage and Green Goblin. They just threw any combination. They spun the wheel, you know.
Yeah, that is the really fun thing about Venom is it's just like let's pick a superhero character or villain and just like combine them and then we have a brand new 10-issue series about something.
Literally. No, literally.
Truly.
And they could make probably like 50 million Venom movies. I heard them say that Venom 3 is confirmed. Well, because that one's going to be Toxin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Are they just going to do another symbiote every movie, do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think?
How can Venom sustain itself if it's the same thing every time?
I felt that same way about Stranger Things, and they're moving to Russians, and I think it's a really bad idea. So
Hey,
maybe
I have
Venom
faith.
Venom
Oof.
should just stick to. Do you guys remember the season 3 episodes of Stranger Things were in our first that was in our first batch of episodes of this show?
Yes, where
Mhm.
we split it into 2 episodes and we did
Yeah,
that was like what, second spooky season?
that was like episode 5 or something. That was
That was
early.
very early. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
dang.
might be the spookiest movie for this year. I don't know. We haven't planned out the rest of our October movies.
Right. Oh,
Oh
my
my God,
gosh.
it's
Let us
already
know in the
October, guys.
comments
Yeah,
which
if you
ones
want
you want us to
a
hit up.
if you want a
Malignant,
spooky movie,
perhaps?
bro, we have like 1 week.
Ooh.
We have this. We don't have a whole lot of time. We have actually no. I think there's 2 more episodes in October after this one.
No,
So
guys, Squid Game is so spooky. We have to watch it for one of the
Oh
episodes.
my
Oh my
God.
gosh, I'm like
What if we
halfway
did
done.
spooky movie presentations?
Oh my gosh.
That
I'm
requires me to
sorry.
watch a spooky movie of my own volition.
James, come on. Here,
Come on. It's not going to be
you
worse
could watch
than
like
the...
Matilda. You could probably take Matilda.
Now
Shut
you saying
up.
Matilda's a spooky movie.
Shut up.
For
Ooh,
James, it is.
abuse.
Literally.
Oh, emotional
and-
neglect.
Oh, we're back to Carnage.
I don't know. That's a lot of emotional carnage, if you ask me.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to debrief and think about that.
Yeah. I
but-
feel like we've talked about Carnage. I feel like we've discussed the details and intricacies of Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. It's a fine movie. If you like
Yeah.
Venom, you'll like this movie, and you probably won't think about it that much afterwards. And if you're a really big fan of Eddie and Venom's relationship, then watch it. If you're not, then don't watch it.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh my God, you read my mind.
But on the replay watch level, it gets like a -3 out of 10. I can't imagine rewatching this movie.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
The first Venom, 100% would rewatch it. That movie's very fun. This
Mhm.
movie, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I feel like we've come to a close here today.
To a
James,
close,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much. Okay.
would you like to take us into the trademarked spiel zone?
Yeah. You know the drill.
Ooh.
You know the drill. Thank you for listening. Thank you for engaging with us on this journey. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Follow us on socials at Instagram, Socratic_cinema, Twitter at Cinema Socratic. You can find us on our website at SocraticCinema.com. If you feel like supporting the podcast or the channel in any way, feel free to consider to discern a call to become a patron for as little as $1 a month, for as little as 1/16 of what I paid to see this movie a month. You can become a patron and support the channel. You'll get access to episodes early. You'll get monthly patron newsletters. You can get your name in the description or said by us. You can have questions asked. There's a lot of options. There's a lot to have there. A lot to be had. If you have specific patron requests that you want, maybe like, oh, if you throw in director's commentaries for the video essays, if you throw in behind the scenes podcasts, then I'll become a patron. I'll do it. We'll do it. I don't care. We'll do it. Your wish is our command. Step on us.
Within reason.
What? I mean, sure, but what?
I'll do what I
I
can.
know.
The point is, give us money. The point is, you don't have to. And I just thank you once again. Please let us know what your symbiote name would be. Mine would be disdain.
Mine would be existential dread.
Mine would be maybe distaste. It's just like I don't care for it.
It's like,
Oh, mine would be apathy.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think
apathy is
mine
on
would
the
be
loose.
perturbed.
Mine's irksome.
Yeah. Mine is I don't know. Mine is catch us next week for whatever we talk about. This has been well, you know the show. Riley, get us out of here. And then he pulls up like in a tuxedo and then we drive away.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye. Adios.